Have you ever had a friend who, on the surface, did everything you believed a friend was supposed to do? They answered your calls, they listened when you needed to talk, they seemed to have your back. In your eyes, they had always been there. And yet, something always felt off. Nothing obvious, no clear red flag, just a quiet feeling you couldn't explain. Most of the time, we ignore that feeling. Because questioning a friendship feels disloyal, uncomfortable, sometimes even unfair. But here's a truth many people learn too late. False friendships rarely reveal themselves through dramatic conflict. They reveal themselves through subtle inconsistency, signals we often choose to overlook. In this video, we're not here to label people as good or bad. We're here to learn how to read between words, emotions, and behavior. Because how often have you heard, or even said, "I thought this person was my friend. We've been friends for so many years, I never saw this coming. All this time, my friend secretly resented me." The reality is, in many cases, those feelings were being communicated long before the truth became obvious. Not through direct confrontation, but through small, repeated signals. And consciously or subconsciously, we chose to ignore them. That's why it's important to learn how to identify these signs. Not isolated reactions, not a single comment or expression, but patterns. Today, we'll look at 3 signs you shouldn't ignore. Sign 1. Follow your gut. Our bodies often recognize misalignment long before our minds do. Unfortunately, in many situations, we learn to silence that inner signal. Ask yourself this: how do you usually feel in the presence of this friend? Do you feel the need to unconsciously dim your light? Do you feel free to express your true self, or slightly guarded? Do you laugh at remarks that feel uncomfortable, just to keep the peace? Do you find yourself constantly making excuses for their behavior? Are you afraid to offer honest feedback or criticism? Do you feel tense, restricted, or subtly uneasy around them? Even if you're not consciously acknowledging these feelings, your body is responding. Discomfort doesn't appear without a reason. Your body is sending you information. The key is learning to listen and then asking yourself why you feel this way. Sign 2. What they're really saying, not what you hear. One of the most overlooked signs of a misaligned friendship isn't what your friend says, it's what their words are doing. Because false friends rarely speak with open hostility. Instead, their discomfort often shows up disguised as humor, concern, or honest advice. Let's start with jokes. Criticism delivered as a joke is one of the safest ways to express resentment without being held accountable. Comments like, "Relax, I'm just kidding. You're so sensitive. I didn't mean it like that." On the surface, it sounds harmless, but pay attention to the pattern. Are you often the punchline? Do the jokes land at your expense, especially in front of others? Do they target your intelligence, your confidence, your appearance, or your ambitions? Humor that consistently lowers you is rarely accidental. A genuine friend notices when a joke doesn't land. A false friend notices and keeps going. Now let's talk about concern. This one is especially confusing because it sounds supportive. They might say, "I just don't want you to get hurt. I'm being realistic. I know you, and I don't think this is for you. I'm just looking out for you." But look at the outcome of these conversations. Do you feel encouraged or discouraged? Do you feel clearer or smaller? Do you feel supported or subtly doubting yourself? There's a difference between grounded advice and repeated doubt disguised as care. A genuine friend helps you think. A false friend helps you hesitate. Another important clue is how they respond to your excitement. When you share good news, do they quickly change the subject? Offer immediate criticism? Bring up worst-case scenarios before celebrating with you? Support that always comes with a warning is not always support. And here's the key point. Individually, none of these comments mean much. But when jokes, doubts, and concern consistently point in the same direction, toward shrinking you, slowing you down, or keeping you in place, you're no longer listening to words. You're observing a pattern. And patterns don't lie. This doesn't mean your friend hates you. Often, it means they're struggling with their own fear, insecurity, or comparison. But intention doesn't erase impact. Learning to hear what's really being communicated helps you decide where to place your emotional energy, without confrontation, without accusations, and without guilt. Sign 3. When their body reacts before their words do. What are their body communicating? The third sign is often the most honest one, because while words can be chosen carefully, the body responds automatically. When a friend hears good news, your promotion, a new relationship, a personal win, their first reaction often reveals more than anything they say afterward. Let's start with the smile. A genuine smile engages the whole face. The eyes soften. The expression lingers naturally. A false smile appears quickly and disappears just as fast. You may notice the mouth smiling while the eyes remain tense or distant, or a smile that feels forced, tight, or slightly delayed. It's subtle, but you need to pay close attention to what your nervous system is picking up. Now watch the body. When someone is truly happy for you, their body tends to lean in. Their posture opens. Their gestures become animated. When someone feels discomfort, comparison, or resentment, the body often does the opposite, without permission. You might notice the shoulders stiffen, the torso pulls back, arms cross, or hands become tense. Even as the words say, "That's amazing." The eyes are especially revealing. Do they maintain warm eye contact when you share good news? Or do their eyes dart away, blink excessively, or lose focus? Eyes often reflect emotional conflict before the person becomes aware of it themselves. And here's an important point. This doesn't mean every awkward reaction equals bad intent. People process emotions differently. Shock, surprise, or insecurity can briefly show up in the body. What matters is what happens next. Does their body relax as the conversation continues? Do they ask questions, celebrate with you, or show curiosity? Or does the tension remain, reappearing every time you succeed or move forward? The body doesn't lie, but it does repeat itself. When words consistently express support, but the body repeatedly reacts with tension, withdrawal, or discomfort, you're witnessing emotional misalignment. And misalignment is information. You don't need to confront it. You don't need to accuse anyone. You simply need to notice it and decide how much access that person has to your inner world. Because the most reliable signals are rarely spoken. They're felt. Final conclusion: seeing clearly without becoming cynical. When you step back and look at everything together, a pattern begins to form. Not from one comment, not from one joke, not from one uncomfortable moment, but from repetition. Your body senses discomfort before your mind explains it away. Their words sound supportive, but consistently leave you feeling smaller, hesitant, or doubtful. And their body reacts with tension, withdrawal, or forced enthusiasm when you grow, succeed, or move forward. Individually, these signs don't mean much. Together, they tell a story of emotional misalignment. And this is where many people get stuck, because they think recognizing misalignment means becoming cold, suspicious, or judgmental. It doesn't. Awareness isn't rejection, it's clarity. You're not looking for perfection in people, you're looking for consistency. You're not trying to expose anyone. You're learning where it's safe to be open. And once you begin to trust patterns instead of isolated moments, something important happens. You stop gaslighting yourself. You stop explaining away discomfort. You stop questioning your perception. And you start choosing your relationships intentionally. Because the goal is to place people correctly in your life. Some friends are meant for depth, some for distance, some for a season. And learning the difference protects your energy, your confidence, and your emotional well-being. The most dangerous friendships aren't always the loudest or most dramatic. They're the ones that quietly drain you while convincing you everything is fine. Seeing clearly doesn't make you harsh or cynical, but enables you to see things accurately. And that clarity is what allows you to choose friendships that feel safe, supportive, and real. Hope you found this video helpful. Download the free PDF below on how to choose healthy, non-toxic friends. It comes with a personal reflection checklist to help get you started on the right path. In the next video, we will explore 3 signs that shows whether you are a pushover and practical ways to break that pattern so your kindness stops being an invitation for mistreatment and becomes a foundation for real respect. Because healthy friendship don't just require better boundaries with others, they require a stronger relationship with ourselves. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, don't forget to like, comment about your experience below. Share this video to help us reach more people who need this message, and subscribe and ring the bell so we can continue to make content that helps people to break free from toxic spaces and grow into their best self. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.